Namaste students, welcome to social class. Already we have discussed the chapter in social science. So the part which we have already discussed, socio and political life. So in that we were discussing the first chapter which have a heading of the Indian Constitution, right? So in this particular lesson we discussed many things about the origin of Indian Constitution. Today in this particular video we are going to learn about the Constituent Assembly. What is meant by this Constituent Assembly? Constituent Assembly, it is a body of leaders assembled to frame the constitution. So when India became independent, when it was a free nation, we needed to have our own particular constitution. So because of that we tried to frame one Constituent Assembly. So this Constituent Assembly consisting of indirectly elected representatives, and it was set up for purpose of the drafting of constitution for India. In the event, it remained in being for almost 3 years, acting as the first Parliament of India after independence in 1947. The assembly met for the first time in New Delhi on 9th December 1946. The last session of the assembly was held in November 1949. Over the course of as period we can called as 2 years, 11 months and 8 days, the assembly had held 7 sessions, and through the help of these 7 sessions, by 1950 November 26th, our draft of Indian Constitution had become ready. Okay, now come to the composition of Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly consisted of 389 members, of which 292 were elected by the elected members of the provincial legislative assemblies, while 93 members were nominated by the princely states. Okay, so after this we are going to see the next topic. What are the things or what are the promises helped for the framing of constitution? It was the Government of India Act. It was in 1935. Government of India Act of 1935 provided details for preparing the base of Indian Constitution, which was very much useful, and which gave a very much provision for the drafting of Indian Constitution. Then in the election of 1947, Congress won 78 seats in 1937's election. So it helped Indians to gain experience in working for the legislature institutions. Okay, so through this, now the leaders got an idea as well as powers to assign work for the drafting of or framing of Indian Constitution. Now have some more information about the Constituent Assembly. So the British sent a group of officials known as the Cabinet Mission, and the Cabinet Mission formed the Constituent Assembly in December 1946. There was a dispute among the Indian national leaders, and the partition took place in that particular period. And after the partition, the Constituent Assembly took up the work for framing the constitution. There were 308 members who were elected by the provincial legislative assembly, and the Congress ensured that all the communities get equal recognition in this. So in this, whatever the representatives were there, they were not only elected or selected by only one particular area of India. So most probably in all the areas, all the representatives has been elected or they have selected, and they represent the whole India in this particular task. So now you can see some of the pictures how the framing work of constitution held. So these are all the some pictures of Constituent Assembly where our great Indian Constitution got framed. Okay, you can see number of pictures. This is the first Constituent Assembly where the meeting has been held and decision has been took to frame the constitution. And this is a picture of members, those who have involved in the drafting of, in the framing of constitution. So this is also the picture where our members, our leaders, they try to tried very well. And then some members of Constituent Assembly which we have, which are very much important, still we are remember, and still we remember these papers, because they are like the backbone of our Indian Constitution, the father of Indian Constitution and the chairman of Indian Constituent Assembly. Okay, next, some more things. After the successful effort of all these members, our constitution, it got ready, and it was a written constitution. The written constitution is the one which you can get in the form of books and can be read. There are 395 articles, 12 schedules, and it has been divided into 22 parts, and the till date more than 104 amendments have been made into this. When Constitution was framed, by that time there was only 395 articles, 12 schedules and 22 parts. At present now, the Constitution in current form, it consists of preamble, 22 parts, and it contains 448 articles, 12 schedules and 5 appendices, and 108 amendments to the data. What is meant by amendments? Amendments are changes which has been made to the Indian Constitution. Okay, so after this we are going to learn some feature about our Indian Constitution. So Constitution starts with preamble. The first and most thing is Constitution starts with preamble. The preamble has been accepted as the part of Constitution, and it includes the objective of the Constitution, such as to provides liberty, equality and justice to the citizens, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individuals and unity and integrity of the nation. It also states about the nature of the state, which is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Okay, so this particular preamble, it is there in each and every book of your NCERT. You can go through, and through this you can understand what is the importance of our Constitution and what is the importance of preamble to our Constitution. Now let's begin the basic features of Indian Constitution. Let's learn the basic features of Indian Constitution. So what are the basic features that we have? These basic features are also called as key features of Indian Constitution. So what are the key features that we are going to learn in this chapter? Means that is federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights and secularism. So all these 5 features are very much important, and it is most important to our Indian country. So in this particular features, we are going to learn the first feature, that is federalism. What is meant by federalism? Already you have gone through the chapter. Through this you have an idea of federalism. Then what is meant by federalism? Federalism, it refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. In India, we have government at the state level, at the center, and Panchayat Raj is the third tier of government, and you have already learned this in your 6th standard, right? And then what is the need of this federalism? So while framing the Constitution, we had many challenges in front of the national leaders, like diversity, partition, integration of princely states, etc. Isn't it? So when India became independent, we had to face many challenges, like just now we become free, and we had a challenge that we have to provide all the facilities to all the people. Before that, India was ruled by number of princely states, and it has to be integrated. It has to be integrated among all, and this particular fame will go to our the leader Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who has been successfully integrated all the princely state into India, and because of this he was also called as Iron Man of India. And you have seen the picture or the image of a Statue of Unity which has been inaugurated in Gujarat, right? So this was the famous person who united India into a single country. Let's have a look over the federalism. So in the federalism, The power of country has been divided into three tiers, that is central government, state government and the local government. Okay, so along with this, what is the need of this federalism? In a sense, we have vast communities in India. The communities of India are there are more in number. Along with that, all the background of each and every community is different from each other. So to fulfill all the demands of each and everybody, it is not very much easy to control by only with a single central government. So because of that, what happened, this has been divided into three tiers. And along with that, the federalism in India, if we see the federalism in India, it is the state enjoys autonomy in existing power. At the same time, they follow the laws of central government. So through to bring this into reality, the constitution contains three lists that specify the law making power of each tier. So tier in the sense the levels. Okay, so in this we have three lists, that is union list and state list and concurrent list. In that, if for each and every particular tier some matters or some subject has been allotted and it has been assigned where only that particular government can take decision or it can make a law. So if we take union list, for example, in union list there are number of things, most probably all the national concern things which is come under national integrity are those things: defense, atomic energy, citizenship, census, railway, shipping, navigation, airways, like banking, insurance, stock exchange, income tax, service tax and cooperative tax. All those things which has national concerns, everything will come under union list, and only the central government alone will have a right to frame or make laws on this. If we come to state list, so like public law and order, police, agriculture, these things and all come under state list. If you look towards the concurrent list in the sense, both the central as well as the state government can make laws over this, and the subjects come which includes concurrent lists are protection of wildlife and education. Some of the things which have been listed in this is, you can go through the list and you can very well understand the things, the matters are the subjects which comes under this particular concurrent list. So I hope you have understood how the power has been divided. So why union government have been taken some of the most important things, because whenever a decision or maybe a time exists that decision has to be taken, it should not have a time to ask with the government, state government. So it has its own idea or own right to take its own decision. Okay students, thank you very much for this wonderful session. Tomorrow we will meet with another session with another topic. It means with the another key feature of India. Thank you students, thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you.